Un día más, un día menos, es tu mini canal. Vamos a empezar este juego. Yo creo que es un juego corto, indie, no lo conozco, lo han puesto en el Game Pass. Vamos a probarlo. No lo conoce, ni el que ha hecho el juego lo conoce. Return to Grace, Grace. El cielo parece sacado de un cuadro de Van Gogh. Ultra. Este juego lo corre la Game Boy. Es lo duro, como si fuese la memory card. ¿Qué susto me has dado? Cercano. Creative Vice Studios. No sé qué ha...
Stick's not responding.
Getting Made It. De 1820.
Can you take control?
The storm is interfering with my senses.
Hold on.
Impact in 10, 9. Oh, there it is.
Vale, hemos impactado, por lo que veo.
Addie,
Me llamo Ati.
Addie, please respond.
Adi, vale.
Everything hurts.
You've been out for nearly an hour.
What's our status, Alan?
We've crashed.
Yeah, I
Ah,
got
muy de
that.
puta madre. ¿Cuál es
My
el
hull
estatus,
is
vale?
intact.
Estás estrellado.
Thrusters 2 and 4 are damaged and will require realignment.
Vale.
So will my
4
back.
escudos.
Can you let me out?
o-
Not before
la
we talk
estructura
about your suit.
de la nave requiere reparación.
Okay, talk.
I'm reading green on seals, green on batteries. Thermals are, well, not green, but fine, and you have 5.35 hours of oxygen, maybe 6 if we run the scrubbers hot. But Addie, we've had this discussion before. You
Vale, tengo
won't have
5
enough
horas
to...
de
It's
oxígeno.
fine.
4.
I have a plan.
I'm concerned that...
I have a plan.
Vale, tenemos un plan. Hostia,
Understood.
Now,
va a ser el coche
open the
fantástico
hatch.
esto.
The canopy hydraulics are not responding. You'll have to pull the manual release.
Escapa de la nave. Ah.
Seriously. This stupid piece of junk.
I'm right here.
Ah, por las primeras impresiones está chulo. Vale, luego lo he bloqueado. El perro me
Visibility's
está
terrible.
dando por culo.
Any sign of the spire?
I'm not picking...
Me mola el reloj. Una manía de joderme los sentidos. Pero manía, macho. Y me da mucho por culo que me jodan los empieces. No es los 10 minutos de un juego, si no te pones en situación, el juego no te va a gustar. Es ley.
up anything new. Just the original beacon signal.
Más o menos lo
You'll
estaba
need to use your
consiguiendo. Vale.
wayfinder to locate an entry point. If there is one.
All right.
Vale, hay que ir al punto.
Let's figure out where you're at, Grace.
You know the beacon could be anything. A lost colony, a relay station.
200 distinct oral histories can't be wrong, Alan. Grace is here.
Ah, vale, me puedo ir andando. Vamos al lío. Creo que he leído que es un juego muy cortito.
I can't believe this storm. Where would this have
Hombre,
come
pues,
from?
la
There is
sensación del
record
juego
of
está
ancient
chulo.
terraforming on other moons.
No
I
se ve
think it's
mal.
safe to assume that Ganymede is not an
El
exception.
apartado artístico y gráfico me mola. Y las voces están guay. No está traducido, ¿no? Vídeo. Ajuste de gama. Vibración, mouse, no. Que binding, eso. Nah. Bueno, tampoco es... Seguiremos el punto. Si hay algo que pueda traducir, lo traduzco. Y si no, nada.
There's something man-made here. Looks like a weather station, or maybe a seismic station. It looks the era of that relay from the Dawes Sea Dig. It's at least 700 years old, Alan. There's a little bridge here. There wouldn't be much sense of building this if we weren't within walking distance of the spire.
By all estimates, the beacon is within 400 meters.
This looks climbable.
No, pues está bien las animaciones, ¿eh?
Which way here?
El juego se siente bien. Se siente... Está guapo.
Oh no! Yep, there goes the back again.
Sí, y
What
vamos
happened?
para abajo de nuevo.
Fell into a stupid fissure. Looking for a new way to reach the spire.
Vale,
Or at
localizan
least
un nuevo
someplace where
camino
it'll be
para el
easier to find my body.
punto. Y ya está. Por ahí no puedo. Está muy bien, está muy bien. Son gráficos muy... Muy finales. Muy finales de los 2000, de la época 360, pero están bien. 2007, 2000.
Looks a little
A mí este
tight.
tipo de gráficos me mola, ¿eh? Es que a mí el ultrarrealismo no me gustan los juegos. Yo quiero sentir que es un juego.
It's opened up again.
Vale.
Another station. They're too close together to be weather stations.
So seismic then. Icequakes
Bueno,
would be the
huevo,
risk
reloj,
of
eh.
building here. So it makes sense they would track activity. The surface temperature is dropping. We can't maintain your thermals much longer.
We're close. I can feel it.
I wish I shared your optimism.
¿Eso qué es? ¿El oxígeno? ¿La barra amarilla que hay ahí? No sé. O la vida.
God. This has to be it.
What are you seeing, Annie?
Joder, me han dado
I'm looking at
tres
what must
logros
be the
ya.
Spire
Se encuentra la
superstructure.
Great Spire.
I can't imagine how something this big has gone undetected for this long.
A 500-year-old storm?
I don't know. Doesn't seem possible. I can see.
Did you make it, Annie?
Tengo venas de
I'll let you know in one
explorador. He
sec.
visto el agujero y yo, a ver si se puede saltar por ahí.
I'm in. All right, Grace. Let's find out what you've been up to for the past 900 years.
900 yardas. Mira, se ve de puta madre la sombra. ¿Tengo luz? ¿Está grabando?
Hope my light still works.
R. Vale, no vamos a tener pistolas ni nada. La R. Coño, por ahí vengo, ¿no?
You should see this
Arrastrarse.
spooky tunnel I'm in, Alan.
And why would I want that?
Come on, you're not excited?
You crash-landed me in a frozen hellscape and left me for salvage.
10
Está
years of
guapo
research,
el
not to mention
movimiento.
6 months of spaceflight, are about to pay off.
But at what cost?
Don't ruin this for me.
Y el doblaje está chulo también. Bueno, no sé qué habrá hecho más esta gente, ¿eh? Está chulo.
Looks like a bit of a labyrinth, but I'm still picking up the signal ahead.
And you can still hear me?
Loud and clear, buddy.
La ambientación y eso está guapa.
The structure looks to be in decent condition.
Tiene pinta de
Another
ser
good
un
sign.
poco Walking Simulator, pero bueno.
Everything about this place looks 30th century to me.
Pues
It's the right
estilo-
era,
del
the right
siglo 30.
size.
Don't say it, Addy. We've had our hopes dashed before.
Supongo que habrá varios caminos. Se siente bien el juego, tío. Está muy bien.
Looks
Ventilación.
like the tunnels can be air sealed. I'm guessing large parts of the station can be pressurized. This one's broken. I think I can crawl through. Jeez, that's gotta be over 15 meters.
And if gravity here is 1/6 of that on Earth, then a 15-meter fall here would be the equivalent of falling less than 3 meters at standard G, which you've mastered a couple of times already on the moon's surface.
Ah, it's probably fine.
I could calculate outcome probabilities based on previous drop impacts if you've already jumped, haven't you?
Ah, vale. 15 metros, por la gravedad que tenemos, es como si fuese 3 metros. Equivalente a 3 metros. Vale. Espera. Ay.
Gosh, I hope this is the right way.
Joder, si solo estamos bajando, yo no sé. ¿Lo puedes para subir? Está guapo la animación esta,
Oh boy, this is slick.
Addy?
Oh no.
Está guapo la sensación esa. De gravedad. ¿Y esto qué? Tiene el suelo de la terraza de la
Are you
abuela.
hurt, Addy?
I'm working on it.
Un pato
The
andaluz.
structure is enormous. This has to be the Gray Spire, Alan.
And there it is. The perfect setup for disappointment.
Hombre, después de haber jugado juegos como Score, ¿sabes? Que la majestuosidad de la nave se ve súper enorme y tal, pero bueno, esto es un juego indie. Y salvando las distancias, que el Score, vamos, para hacer un juego no conocido lleva años en desarrollo. Llevaba años en desarrollo ya.
Found the beacon.
Vale.
The transmitter is on some sort of console.
It must be part of a control network for the megastructure.
You think we can make a connection here?
Theoretically, if you run a scan, I can attempt to connect.
Vale. Pues estamos en el
The
escáner.
interface language is quite old and sophisticated, but we should be able to calibrate your computer to interact. You can use your gyroscope to sync with the terminal. I have the first calibration position. The meter will indicate when you are close.
Vale, estamos calibrando.
Watch the meter closely and move your hand slowly to find the position. First position is locked. Second calibration position is up. That's 2, and here's the final position.
Pues lo he intuido, que las barras amarillas y el pito
That's it.
que se
We're
repite, si no.
Accessing the network now. Oh,
Vale.
Shit. Alan, you
Mola
there?
un huevo. Muy.
Alan?
Hello.
Muy funky, ¿no?
A visitor.
Las paredes.
Let's have a look.
Where's Alan?
Muy funky.
Who is this?
Who is this? Who are you? Entering a home without knowing its host.
Are you Grace?
Good question. I'm not entirely Grace. I'm running on just a small part of her logic processing.
Grace is still here.
And what brings you here?
My name is Adamari Ito. I'm an explorer.
I must apologize, Adamori. It would appear I have lost much of my capacity. I cannot see very far beyond the room we are in.
I've lost connection with my ship's AI.
You won't need Alan here. I can show you around.
Will you be able to let me out of this room?
Of course. But until we are able to restore power to the station, I will require your assistance. There should be a manual winch
Vale,
set in the
para
floor
activar
at the foot of one of the
energía
sliding
necesitamos
doors.
necesita nuestra ayuda. Escapa de la sala. Muy funky, ¿eh? Hace la de los años 70 ahí. Película de Grace Kelly, Cinturón
Look
Negro.
for a hinged floor grate at the foot of one of the doors. The winch is set in the floor below one of the doors.
This must be it.
Working the winch will open
Claro,
the
dice,
door.
hay una trampilla en una debajo de las puertas. Digo,
Do you know where Grace has been all this time?
Grace went somewhere?
She's been gone for hundreds of years.
I am running on a very old server. My memories predate the completion of the Grace file.
Grace
vale.
ushered in humanity's golden age. Peace across the system, booming interplanetary trade, scientific marvels, colonies beyond the orbit of Neptune.
Hombre,
And then
yo
she was
intuyo
gone.
que es la
And it
puerta
all
la que
fell
está
apart.
bajando, ¿no?
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Well, you're a lot more than an archaeologist usually gets.
Pues la apertura no era así la puerta. Es que da la sensación de que estamos subiendo. Vale.
The first step to restoring Grace is to bring the Spire's power station back online.
Let's do it.
I'll light the way.
Ah, el juego va de puzzle.
What do I do here?
Por lo que veo.
This is a security panel. I am decrypting the pattern now. Ah, yes. Simple enough. You'll need to light up 9 buttons, forming a square at the center of the panel.
Okay, the 9 buttons in the center.
That is what I said.
If you're not Grace, then what do I call you?
¿Cómo?
I don't believe there are any identification strings in my base logic that would suffice.
I'll call you Logic then. For now. Till we have a better idea of who you are. And, you can call me Addie.
I will refer to you as Addie, then, until we have a better idea of who you are. Do they not have squares where you are from?
Just give me a second.
Light only the 9 lights at the direct center of the panel. You need to toggle the other lights off.
No, espera, voy a apagar todas. Y a ver si vuelve a hablar, porque creo que dice que tiene que haber 9 cuadrados encendidos formando un cuadrado. Desde el centro. A ver, va. Es el centro, ¿no? Vale, entendido de puta madre.
So what exactly are you?
The station's emergency server had defaulted to Grace's original logic processing. That's me, as you've suggested. The server can also run a program dedicated to the control of infrastructure, and a third system dedicated solely to empathizing with and understanding humans. When power is restored, Grace's primary servers should come online, and we will become some small part of Grace's consciousness. Go ahead and activate the elevator.
This looks like metallic rock.
The power station is set into the Spire's foundation stone.
The foundation stone would have been an asteroid, right?
Most certainly. About 50 cubic kilometers, from what I can recall.
50 kilómetros cúbicos.
Most accounts of Grace's origins talk about an asteroid being pulled from the heavens. That makes sense. There wouldn't be any construction resources on Ganymede and nothing to anchor the structure. I can't imagine the effort it would have taken to redirect an asteroid that big. We don't do anything like that today. Can you open this?
With some difficulty. I will need to direct power from logic to control processing. And I will not function at the same cognitive level until full power is restored.
What do you mean, at the same level?
Good luck, Addie.
You still there?
Where would I have gone?
¿Eh?
You sound a little different.
Just stronger. The voice of control resonates through the very walls of the structure. I shall start the turbine after you prime the generators that open the spillway.
And this turbine still works?
It worked before, and it will work again. You shall find the generators on the platform at the other side of the room.
Alrighty.
Supongo que hay que subir ahí. Supongo.
What's the crane for?
Go to the 3 generators overlooking the turbine.
Ah, pues no. Yo creo que en algún momento dado.
You know what's in these?
Enough, Addie. You must go to the generators.
They're cartridges. For what, I wonder?
For the last time, go to the generators.
Vale, estoy investigando, hombre.
You must prime the generators first.
Makes
Vale.
sense. These look like holding tanks. How exactly do these turbines work?
Why do you insist on being so insolent? Go to the generators.
What happened here? Someone ripped this apart. So, why do you need me to start these?
Tradition.
These look like crystal core processors. Amazing. You can find the material to build one of those today. So, do you share memories with the logic processor?
Indeed. We are all part of grace. Aspects of her infinite power. Shadows of what was, and promises of what will be. I was the light that shone in the darkness. I was the hand that divided the firmament.
Vale, perfecto.
The turbine
well, no.
has failed us.
That's not good.
I must
bueno,
call
no.
upon you to cast out the wicked instrument,
The what?
the broken turbine. You must go to it now.
Alright.
Reemplaza la turbina. Vale, supongo que tengo que utilizar ese trasto, sacarlo y coger una ahí, ¿no? Poner esa ahí y coger esa ahí. Supongo yo. No, porque si yo hago así... Pues sí, espera, ¿nos subimos primero ahí? Que a lo mejor es mentira lo que pienso, aunque está rojo, yo creo que está deshabilitado. Para que se habilite, yo creo que bajamos, apretamos un botón, se activa, volvemos a subir, ¿no? Para alargar un poco la experiencia.
Going down.
Going down.
I'm safe to be down here, right?
You shall not be harmed. You must uncouple the safety latches.
That sounds unsafe.
It is not.
Vale, hay otra palanca enfrente.
You must now go to the magnetic crane.
Vale, sí, por lo que he dicho. Primero se baja
You're
abajo.
sure I'll be able to fix this?
If you trust in my word.
Ya
Yes.
cogemos el gancho. Bueno, es lo que he entendido yo. A lo mejor me estoy... No, vendimiando. No, he entendido bien. Como sigue rojo arriba, digo, estoy vendimiendo. Vale.
You must first cast out the old turbine.
Tío, se siente muy bien el juego. Uy, va, que tengo que dejarlo.
Now cast aside the wretched unit.
Está muy bien programado. Las movidas, ¿eh? No se siente un juego torpe. Hay algunos juegos que dices, coño, está torpe el muñeco y te tienes que adaptar a la torpedad del muñeco. Esto responde muy bien a los controles.
Now you shall place the new turbine.
Vale. Cogemos la nueva turbina. muy sutil lo de la luz para indicar dónde está. Ah, está muy bien. Muy bien pensado. Microsoft, comprarles.
Everett?
Hello?
Hello.
Everett, is that you?
Una voz.
Grace?
Everett.
¿Sabes también la voz haciendo chi, así?
Behold my power.
What's happened?
I am reborn. Humanity will once again flourish in the brightness of my glory.
This isn't right. Our processing has not combined. Grace has not been restored.
I think she was here for a moment. She was calling to someone. Do you know who Everett is?
No. With power restored, my mind is clearer, sharper. But I could not tell you who Everett is.
You must leave this place at once. Return to your vessel and spread word of my return. From Sol's fiery core to the icy Kuiper expanse, all must know.
Este tiene que ser malo.
I've hijacked the volume control. I don't feel like this is going to be a short commandment. We'll see how long before he notices.
It took me nearly a year to get here. I want to know if Grace can be brought back.
There is more complex to explore if you head back to the control room through which you entered. We should determine
Vale,
where
vamos a
in the
volver.
megastructure my central processors are located. Perhaps along the way you may learn more about this Everett.
Vale,
I
hay que volver a
forbid
la
you
sala
to
de antes.
linger a moment longer.
And he's back.
Like a divine comet, dive from the outer reaches and spread light and understanding to the inner
Please.
worlds.
I'm not leaving.
Yet more insolence.
So, are there any accounts as to why Grace was shut down in the first place?
There's no electronic record at all. That would have been lost during the Great Dark Age.
Dark Age?
Much of humanity's record keeping would have been managed by
Oscura.
Grace. So, when she went down 900 years ago, so did the ability to record what happened. The research that led me here was based on oral histories mostly, and some artifacts we uncovered on Earth and Mars. Relay devices that were once connected to Grace's network.
Bueno, por lo veo la humanidad
Then we
como la
share an
conocemos está
interest
hecha
in
una
shedding
mierda,
light
como
on this
todas las
dark
cosas
age.
apocalípticas o post-apocalípticas, y esto está grabando desde que pasó esa caída de la humanidad, unos 900 años. Ha estado grabando las situaciones y etcétera, etcétera. Documentando. Y yo creo que he entendido que tenía que volver otra
From
vez a
what
la
I
sala
can
de
tell,
control.
there is some sort of transit system on the other side of the control room, which should lead you to the other parts of the spire. I will illuminate the door leading to this transit system.
La puerta adelante. Vete al sistema de iluminación, de panel de iluminación.
Alas, I require your nimble fingers again.
Alright, what's the pattern?
Another easy one. The Phoenician letter Tau.
Who would know that?
I don't know. Perhaps an archaeologist? How about the Greek letter Chi? The Roman numeral 10?
Okay.
Tengo que escribir el 10 en números romanos. Con 9 fichas. Uno, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Please tell me you know your Roman numerals. How about a big fat X? You know that one? Perhaps it's the symbol you use to
Sí,
sign
de hecho el
documents.
número, pero
Just give me a sec.
¿lo tengo que hacer completando la X o...? Completando la X,
Got
bueno,
it.
como
This
antes,
is not the way to your ship.
como antes eran 9
Do you
fichas
believe
solo,
Grace
vale.
could have done
Sí,
something
sí,
to
yo he
cause
leído
humans to turn on
el
her?
número 10.
Like what?
Sabía que había que hacer una
Like
X.
becoming too overbearing?
Humans would have been given no reason to question my bearing.
It's one of my theories, yes. This must be the main entrance. I'm guessing the landing pad is on the other side of the big doors.
That's correct, Addy. though the pad appears to be buried under meters of ice.
What are these for?
They appear to be terminals for processing visitors to the spire, but they no longer store any useful information.
Parece egipcio. Ah, es un diseño sencillo pero sutil. A ver.
Is this an airlock?
Yes, the spire beyond this point can be pressurized.
Vale.
I assume your suit
Apresurizaje.
has limited oxygen?
I have about 5 hours left.
That's quite a risk you're taking. Were you assuming station life support could be restored?
Well, can it?
I believe so. But for reasons I'll never understand, life support is controlled by empathy processing. I suppose they had to give it something to do. I will enable that programming now.
Hello, Addie.
Hello. So you're going to get oxygen going?
The process has already begun, my friend. No rush. If you let me accompany you along the path ahead, I can balance the environment to your life force as we walk.
Oh, here we go.
Aquí hay
Wow.
oxígeno por cojones.
How are these plants still intact?
They must have been subject to a very sudden drop in temperature while still alive.
What is this place?
Remaining connected to one's natural world is important for a person's
Yo que estos
well-being.
gráficos no los veo malos,
A fitting
tío.
starting
Yo,
point for those entering the
son
structure, don't you
superchulos.
think?
Una buena iluminación y tal, son muy resultones. Y va el juego fluido, sin petar.
Do you see them, Addie? Life in perfect
La
stillness.
gente disfrutaría más de los juegos, porque no se tendrían que gastar
Flowers
dinero
define
ahí
the
en
warfrost.
renovar
As
sus
you
tarjetas
define the
gráficas.
emptiness
Ya,
of
pero
space
entonces
to arrive here.
arruinaría las
I guess.
creadoras de cheese y cosas
Which
de
one are
esas porque
you?
no había renovación.
Pardon me?
Which one of these
Bueno,
blooms
que
best
hagan menos
embodies your
control de,
spirit?
que hagan
Seriously?
menos control
It's
de producto.
important I know these things in the
Menos producción.
balancing of illuminatory ergonomics.
Fancy words do not make this any less idiotic.
Go ahead, Addie. There
Ah,
are no
superchulo.
wrong choices.
Aquí tiene que haber oxígeno.
By all means, take your time if you need it.
¿Cómo? Todavía no necesitamos irnos. A ver, hay algo que...
You remember that you're choosing a flower, right?
Tengo que elegir una flor.
How about this one?
A solid choice. You walked an unsteady path to get here, and I think you've come in search of comfort,
Tiene
perhaps.
muchas flores, ¿no?
Or you wish to become part of something bigger than yourself. I'm making the lighting adjustments now. You can make your way to the artifact display by the boardwalk.
Ya. Oh. Me he perdido
Do you
algo.
recognize any of the objects in this section of the garden? I'd love to know what you think of them. For the calibration process.
This statue could be outer colonial. It's simple, but it's quite beautiful, I guess.
And why would its beauty matter?
People like pretty things.
Ah, a human truth spanning thousands of years.
Am I doing this right?
You are doing splendidly.
I'm sorry. This cannot possibly be necessary.
Temperature preferences can vary considerably between individuals. Careful calibration is essential.
How about above freezing and we proceed?
It's really up to Addie. If you don't wish to consider more objects, I can set the temperature within a survivable range, and you can move to the pergola in the center of the room.
I have no idea what this is. A weapon or a tool of some kind?
It's a device for working metal. Why do you suppose it's in this garden, Addie?
It could be a symbol of hard work.
An industrious future? Or a laborious past, perhaps?
What's the point of this, Addie?
I'm an explorer. I'm here to learn.
Vale, sí. Hay algo que no me he enterado. Es que como estaba viendo el decorado, había un momento que he dejado de leer.
Ah, perfect timing. The room is fully compressed and we can go about setting oxygen levels.
Call me old-fashioned, but how about the
Me
traditional
molaría hacer una mierda
21%?
de estas, tío.
Go
En
ahead
mi
and seat
casa.
yourself at
Está
the
todo
center of the
guapo,
pergola.
Está súper chulo.
Whenever you're ready, you can move to the space under the pergola. I have one last exercise for the life support balancing.
Vale. Dice que hay un hueco donde la pérgola. Vale. Pero que es muy raro porque me he subido y no dice nada. No.
Now, when
Vale.
you're ready, you can remove your helmet.
My helmet?
Of course. You can't sample the air I've prepared with it on.
And you're sure it's safe?
Your well-being is the most important thing, Addie. I'm certain it is safe.
Okay.
Hostias.
Now I want you to take a deep breath. A nice, deep breath. Hold it there. 3, no. I want you to take a slow, deep breath and hold it until I tell you to release. Deep as you can, Addie. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and release. Beautiful. And when you're ready,
Otra vez.
another deep breath in. Fill those marvelous lungs. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and release. Very good, Addie. Feel all that built-up stress from your long journey here release into the ether.
Oh, please.
Shut
Bueno,
out
como el
any
micrófono está
negative
calibrado
energy
para
and
cierta
take in
frecuencia, a lo mejor
another
no se oye como
life-nurturing
inhalo y
breath.
exhalo. Como te diga.
Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and release. Wonderful.
Even the
Precioso.
station has a limited supply of oxygen.
Next, I want you to really open your body by reaching up toward the sky.
No sé.
Wonderful. How's that feel, Addie?
No
Kind
sé
of
lo que estaba
nice.
haciendo ahí, la verdad.
And we're almost done the calibration. For our last exercise, I will ask you to stand up.
Okay.
Ok.
Now,
Están muy bien las
once you're
animaciones,
centered,
¿eh?
you can hold your hands in a relaxed position in front of you. Now transfer your weight onto one foot. I want you to hold that for 10 seconds.
Okay.
What could this possibly have to do with oxygen levels?
It's about balancing.
Literal balancing? Unbelievable.
Almost there. 3, 2, 1. And that's 10 seconds. Excellent, Addie. We've done great work here today. I've made note of these settings for the other parts of the station.
So we can move to the transit system now?
The door out is just up the stairs past the flowers.
Vale, ahora sí, aquí a las escaleras encima.
I'll do my best to get the oxygen mix just right in the rest of the station. Just let me know if anything is not quite working for you.
You don't suspect Grace was shut down in a human conflict?
Maybe. Or you were abandoned over time.
Abandoned?
We've walked away from a lot of great things. Very cool.
These tracks move transport pods to other levels of this complex.
Let's see if we can get this thing working.
Hay un collider. Hay una línea de colisión aquí.
That's a lot of ice. I wonder if that's going to be a problem.
Eso porque no han
You
hecho...
wouldn't build a system like this if you didn't need to move a lot of
No han
people.
hecho animación de muerte.
Which bodes well for finding something cool at the other end. This must be the transit control room. Looks like people worked here. This looks like a welder's jetpack. It's been disassembled for some reason. This one looks to be in working order. No power?
There is no current running to this console. Control will be required to reroute power.
And you defied my wishes to tell the solar system of my return.
I'm just looking for answers, boss.
I am the only answer.
Control? Fine. Where's the electrical access for the room?
To the left of the rear door. But as I said, you will need control to reroute power to the console.
This era of electronics is dead simple. Won't hurt to take a look. This should show the power status of the room's various systems. Well, nothing in the room is on standby.
As I'd said,
I'm gonna have to look at the breakers. My dad worked on older machines for a living. They're not predictable things. They have quirks.
I sense that there is joy in this work for Addie.
well, I can tell you there is no joy running to any of those breakers.
Sometimes a good whack will knock something into place.
It's worth a try.
Well, there's your problem right there. Someone's removed the entire power relay.
As I told you.
So why can't Control help us? Isn't he programmed to serve humans?
He's more accustomed to tasks like maintaining power grids across entire planets, while I'm very much attuned to the needs of individuals.
What about you, Logic?
I apparently offer wisdom to the wind.
You activated Control and Empathy.
For all the good that did us.
Is there another configuration we can call on?
Grace's core processors contain only these 3 systems.
Can you combine the systems? Take the edge off Control with a little Empathy?
I suppose it's possible, but there's no telling what the outcome of something like that would be.
Could it be any worse than Control?
It can always be worse.
It sounds like a wonderful idea, Addie.
You're right. What do I know? Don't blame me if he turns out to be a murderer.
Addie?
Yep, it's me.
Great.
Nueva configuración.
What are we doing again?
We're powering up pods.
So, you want to hotwire this thing?
Yes, please.
All right. Rerouting is good to go. You can meet me at the breaker panel. Go ahead and flip the switches.
You got it, pal.
And I'm Pal?
Sure. We'll call you pal.
¿Toda rojo?
Breakers look good. Now you can push the buttons that turn on the different systems. Power's up. I'll let you do the honors. Go ahead. Push the throttle on the console.
Ah, verdad, aquí.
Here we go.
Oh, that's not good. I'm so sorry, Addie. I thought I would have enough power to do this for you. It seems so important for you to ride in a pod.
I think the track is just jammed with ice.
Ice? You'd think I would be able to handle a little ice.
It's okay. Is there, some kind of de-icing system or something?
I don't know.
There is not.
All right, let's look for something
No
to
hay
deal
nada
with the ice.
para quitar el hielo.
This could be promising.
Would it be heavy enough to smash the ice?
Maybe. But I'm more interested in what that welding gun might do to the ice. All right, pal. Let's try this one on for size.
So, what's it gonna do exactly?
Oh, I think you're gonna like it. This is a welder. See if it still works.
Look at that. A little blue light.
That's not gonna cut it.
Ya,
Are you able to
pero-
control this?
For you, I could definitely try.
Can you open the fuel throttle to the torch?
Okay. Whoa. I like that. What is it?
That's called an icebreaker, pal. Any idea where the flight controls are?
Someone removed them.
Okay.
I can take control if you like.
You know how to fly this?
Looks pretty easy. Stuff shoots out the back and you get thrown up into the air.
Vamos a ver.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Oh
vale,
my
lo-
gosh! It's working! We can fly!
Easy, pal.
Well, where do you want to go?
Alright. If you can move me to the pod, we can have a look at the ice. And, pal,
La
super
música me
important
mola,
that you don't
muy
cut the engines
ochentera,
or
muy
move too
Carpenter.
fast. I don't want to get hurt.
I know, but it's great, isn't it?
Yep. As long as you don't kill me. Alright.
Está muy
Should
bien
be
el
close
doblaje,
enough.
también.
It's so bright and warm.
Just hold me steady.
This is really hard. Ugh, it's these stupid flames are throwing me around.
Joder, deja de moverte, tío.
You may want to ease up, Addie. Don't push him too hard.
I think that's good. Let's have a look at the rest of the track.
You got it. As long as you're not using the fire shooter, flying is pretty easy.
Just keep it up, literally. There's more ice here on the right.
Ah, vale.
Whoa, hold it steady.
Sorry, this is awful.
You're quite sadistic, aren't you, Addy?
Oh boy.
Joder, tío. Vale, hay que ir poquito a poco mejor.
Let's keep going.
On it.
And this last bit here. Now you've got the hang of it.
This is so cool. It's like the best day of my life.
Well, I'm afraid we're
O
almost done.
va mejor así, hacerlo en toquecitos. Debe ser que le desestabiliza si uso el fuego de gol tan seguido.
I think that's it. Do you think you can get me back?
Yeah, I know. You got stuff to do.
That's fun, pal. We make a good team, right?
Yeah, I like the part where we burn the ice while flying.
Me too. Okay, I'm gonna bring down the pod.
Tengo que darle otra vez al botón, me imagino. Vamos a ver. Vale. Funciona. Vale. Logro desbloqueado.
So, where are we heading again?
I will be able to obtain structure schematics once we reach the next level.
You think we'll see any dead bodies?
Hope so. Do you know if the pod system has stops along the way?
It does
Yo sé
not.
que va a ser un tipo
We are
Walking
arriving at the track
Simulator, pero
terminus
tú
now.
pones así una introducción así poquito, ¿no? 1 hora y media, 2, algún puzzle fuerte entre medias. Y después pones bichejo y... Bichejo, una zona tipo Alien Isolation y tal, y el juego, vamos, te la gozas. Porque la verdad que se siente muy bien. Muy fluido.
This looks like a
Y lo decorado
settlement.
no son la panacea, pero está,
Can't believe how well
está muy
preserved
guapo.
it is.
You think people could be alive in there?
You should really consider thinking before you speak.
Y el doblaje está muy bien.
And then consider not speaking.
Logic. As long as life support is functional, it's not
El cono
entirely
artesano o algo
impossible that
así,
someone's
que lo tengo
taken
en el
up
canal,
here.
que lo jugué
Or they could be zombies.
el mes
Well,
pasado,
that
que
settles
dura
it.
4
I'll
horillas.
disable PAL now.
Don't you dare.
Ese
We might need
juego
him.
está apuntado a maneras, tío. Lo que pasa es que la única forma de remeterte con los bichos que salían era huir. Alguna escenilla ahí, bueno, lo estuve comentando al final cuando me pasé ese juego. Que alguna escenilla, alguna situación que pudiese disponer una escopeta, que eso tuvieses 4 y después perdiese la escopeta, estaría bien, le ganaría puntos. Hostia, no he leído.
Ooh, more buttons.
You really are unburdened by intellect, aren't you?
What's the pattern here?
It's the Latin zes.
Huh?
Right, slower processors. You might call it a backwards Z or Z. And you'll need to make it the full width and height of the panel. Just having PAL running in the background is making us all a little stupider. If we did switch PAL off, I could always switch him back if we need to burn something.
Espera, vamos a apagar todas primero porque me lío.
Honestly, do you know what backwards is?
Hostias.
Do you know what a Z looks like? Should we have PAL do this?
A ver si es al revés. No, una Z es una Z. Tía. Espérate, que me he invitado a Paul y no vamos a hacer desaboríos. ¿Qué haces, Paul?
Marius.
Pero si estás desconectado.
¿No? ¿Conectado, Marius?
No, no sales en línea.
Ahorita.
No sales en línea.
A ver.
Estás en modo ninja.
A ver. No, sí, conectado.
Pues no me sales.
¿Qué tal, Marius Bros? ¿Qué estás jugando?
Pues uno que ha salido en el Game Pass. De que estás perdido en el espacio. Estoy aquí haciendo el puto puzzle que no sé lo que tengo que hacer. A ver.
Ya le dije a Alex a ver si se quiere poner.
Pero si no, si solo hay chetos ahí, es una puta mierda. Yo hasta que no lo arreglen yo no juego.
El nuevo mapa, ¿no?
No, da igual el nuevo viejo mapa que está lleno de mierdas.
There.
Vale, es una Z al revés. Pues vale. Nuevo mapa, Fortune
I've been thinking
nuevísimo.
about why anyone would want Grace to be shut
Sí, ya
down.
te he visto ya.
And I wonder if
Conectado,
there could
digo,
have been a
Mario, no,
flaw
juega
in
ya.
her base programming.
No, estoy
Like what?
como pusieron el
Control and
password.
empathy programming divert valuable processing
guapo
power
el juego
away
ese.
from cognitive ability.
Which
Como
way
la
am I
prueba
going?
con Pokémon.
The big colorful doors. As I was saying, empathy interferes with practical decision making. Control is a 4-year-old.
You are a 4-year-old.
Please stop.
Ya te queda poco, Paul, para volver.
El 18 de abril.
Vale, todavía te queda un mes entero. Te queda un mes para que tu mujer se gaste la prima.
The key to restoring Grace may be about understanding her potential flaws.
Are you going to tell me the pattern?
You think we're flaws?
Hay novedades
Having
más.
a few flaws is perfectly alright.
Pues aparte
Logic
de
sounds
Milton,
jealous
pues
to
nada,
me.
Paul, con lo de
Jealous?
siempre.
Of what?
Poca cosa.
You can't even open doors without me.
Trabajar y
Me
Where are you
Todo
trabajar.
bien,
going
más
with
o qué.
this?
We'll talk
ya,
again
¿verdad?
once you can tell me whoever it is. Figure that out, and I'll
De los
grant you
nuevos, ¿no?
access to the main
Se
elevator.
han hecho algunos de los nuevos, sí.
Grant me access? Logic. Seriously?
She has no way to do things without your help. It must be frustrating for her.
Could we create another hybrid? Logic and empathy?
Yeah. Like how you made
El
me.
Víctor ya ha
I could
vuelto
give it a
también, ¿no?
try.
El Franco
Stop,
este.
stop,
Sí,
stop.
pero tiene un horario
You'll
súper
burn the
raro.
place down.
Entra a las 9 y se va a
I
las
will
2.
run a
A la
logic
1.
and empathy configuration as long as you promise never to allow PAL here to do any reconfiguring of our processing.
Porque está lesionado, creo, ¿no?
Sí.
I don't think that smart lady likes me very much.
Hello, Addie. Where do you want to start?
Can we start with
Ahora
the
aquí
security
me
door
está
to the
poniendo
settlement elevator?
nervioso el reloj, macho.
They are encrypted. It would take me days to work out the pattern.
Is there any other way into the settlement?
There is a room off to the side that does not have an encrypted entry. Perhaps we'll find something helpful there.
¿Y ahora qué tengo que hacer aquí?
It says Keeper Rosaline.
She looks like a keeper.
She's pretty.
What do you suppose a keeper is?
It must have been a revered title if a statue was made for her.
Huh. Spire caretaker, maybe.
No me deja interactuar con esto. Hijo puta, me han dejado aquí, no sé qué hacer ahora. ¿Qué cojones? Esta habitación no la había visto.
So you can
¿Es
open
de
these
miedo
ones?
eso?
They have
No, es
similar
de puzzle.
passcodes. I can
Puedes
retrieve
jugar
and
tú,
play
puedo
back.
leerla y no te va a asustar.
You will need to enter the sequence manually.
Tu nave se rompe, bajas a un planeta y tienes que escapar y
This looks like
arreglar la
another
nave y ya
control
está.
room.
No. Y ponen la ficha que dura 2 horas, tampoco es muy largo. De 1 hora, falta 1 hora el juego.
Do you know what this is?
It appears to be some sort of interface from which humans can track activity within the spire. Elements of the interface are missing. I'm not sure I can access it.
I think my comm device can be calibrated to connect.
Of course, yes. Let's give that a try.
More missing equipment.
This looks carefully removed.
This must be the spire structure. It must be in this section here. Can you tell me where Grace's processors are located?
You would need to access the console.
These are databanks?
Yes, they contain flight records to and from the spire.
Anything interesting about the records?
The bookings seem to be coming from internal servers, meaning the trip planning and coordination is all done here.
Where are people traveling from?
Everywhere. Destinations seem very evenly distributed throughout the solar system. There are records here of people who have occupied the rooms over the years. You got it.
Do we know the spire's capacity?
50 units. There are millions of names here.
Millions. If 1 million people cycled through here, no one could have lived here that long.
A few weeks at most, by my estimates.
¿Y el niño que Paul? Tiene 3 años, ha
Okay,
estado
I
muy bien,
found record of an Everett who stayed on the 3rd floor. Unlike other visitors, there is no record of him leaving the spire.
So, Everett was a worker, or
Paul?
a colonist who lived here.
Sí.
Is that enough for
¿El
you,
de conmigo no
Logic?
todavía?
Hardly. It does nothing to explain why Grace would be calling to him.
¿Pero va a catequesis
So
o no?
I'll need to find a way up to the third floor.
¿Va a catequesis o
Perhaps
no?
we can find one on the Spire map.
¿Tu hijo grande no iba a catequesis o la ha dejado ya?
No, dejó este año porque estoy en el fútbol.
Ah. Wow, que le den por saco a Dios, ¿no? ¿Y el pequeño qué? ¿Se porta bien?
Sí.
Pues ninguno, espérate, por acá arriba.
All right. What are we looking for?
Grace processors are located at the top of the structure, as might be expected. There is also a massive radio beacon.
The beacon is the key, Addie. You must go now to activate the beacon to call the masses back to the Spire.
Just a few minutes ago, you wanted me to leave on my ship.
The beacon is the answer. It has always been the answer.
Okay. Can you get me to the beacon then? Control?
Control will not be able to override security.
Then we need to learn more about Everett.
Here's the room where Everett once stayed.
Ooh, maybe we can see it from the balcony.
Possibly, but I don't see a viable route to get there.
I can see apartments.
Those are on level 2.
Well, if we can get to that balcony, maybe we can find a way to level 3. I can climb this.
I suppose.
I don't see many other options.
Vale, por aquí. ¿Y tu hermano que juega en Nueva York?
No, ya volvió ya.
Ah.
Trabajando.
Y se fue con la niña a Nueva
It's
York.
pretty much a
cabrón.
straight shot across. Looks sturdy enough.
Even in low G, a fall could result in an injury.
I've already fallen a few times from this height.
Careful, Addie. If you broke a leg, how would you get back to your ship?
You sound like my mom. Whoa.
Addie!
Ay, ay, ay.
Addie!
Me he caído.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, but you can't be yelling things while I'm trying to cross.
So, you're going to try again after that? You nearly broke your neck, Addie.
Yep, you're totally my mom.
Falling's kind of fun. It's like really short flying.
Otra vez.
Please, be careful.
This is so cool.
Quiet, please.
Just concentrate on your breathing.
Yikes.
This is so exciting.
Breathe, Addie. Very good. Now keep walking forward.
I can't watch.
I knew you could do it.
Sí, sí, sí.
You should really try running across next time.
I'm hoping there won't be a next time.
It'd be faster too.
Looks pretty empty. Maybe the rooms were for short work contracts.
2-week work contracts?
Or were people just visiting the spire? This looks like a shrine.
To honor Grace.
That must be her symbol. Some weird little lavatory.
They've changed much over the years.
Not really. I've seen weirder. I've seen ones where people sat on ceramic bowls of water.
If they pooped in the water, what did they drink?
Well, check out the rooms, I guess. Look for a way to the next level?
You still don't know who Everett is, do you?
Ha cambiado la música aquí.
I light up the pattern for you.
Another empty bedroom. Here we go.
We still have one level to go.
Hey, there's another beam here. I think it's a shortcut.
It is more direct, but I wouldn't advise it. You're better off finding a way through the apartments. Besides, I know how much you like to explore.
I guess if you don't want to do the beam stuff, that's okay.
Here's the code.
Pues yo, ¿qué? Cabrón.
Not much here either. Where did these go to?
This entire settlement is connected to a vacuum tube system. From what I can tell, they are headed in one direction, the top of the spire. Here you go.
I don't see any signs of unrest or violence.
And they left little behind.
All the rooms have these tubes. Someone's removed the keypad. I can't help but feel there's an organized effort to dismantle parts of the spire. Doesn't seem hidden enough to be sabotage. And it's too precise to be random vandalism.
What about Tomb Raiders?
I considered that, but they've left most of the valuable stuff. What are these?
From what I can tell, they're audio recordings.
Of what, I wonder?
We would require a playback device to learn more. There may be a way to access the recording through your wrist communicator with the aid of a signal amplifier. But that would only be possible by adding an element of control to my logic processing capabilities.
So you need to create a control and logic configuration.
Like a little brother?
Well, it's the only combination left. May as well, Mom.
All right. Here we go.
No, pues el juego está súper guapo, la verdad. No va a haber mucho bicho.
Maybe he's sleeping.
So you require a tool upgrade.
It's a boy.
We were hoping you could set up my comm device to help play back recordings.
Already done. Just hold your device up to the canister.
Vale,
You will
hackear
be
el
able
tubo.
to access the recording the same way you've been connecting to
Nueva
other systems.
configuración.
No
Okay.
está difícil, Mario. Digo, ganó.
Contigo gano, dice. ¿Qué fe tienes?
Claro, es estratégico.
Hello, Grace. This is Madeline
Si
talking.
no, no tengo ni
I'd
actualizado.
hope this
Ahora
trip
miro.
would be
a
my
ver.
chance to connect with others who care about you. Now, I'm not sure anyone takes these wishes seriously anymore. So, that's my wish. Help me find
Sí,
someone.
llevo un mes sin jugar y no he visto nada de... No tengo ni el pase de batalla
that's
y ni
interesting.
polla vinagre.
She sounded lonely.
People came here to make wishes?
For Grace to grant?
I'm unclear how she would go
De
about
causa tus
granting
obras
the
también.
wishes of so
Dime.
many visitors.
Las obras en casa de Cabo Este.
No, todavía... A ver si me tiene que hacer presupuesto a las puertas, ¿sabes? Vino la semana pasada, no la otra, a ver. Y ya lo dejo para...
Figure this was left here as a token. Or an
Ya
offering?
libro. Ya tengo vacaciones en junio y ya que me lo haga. ¿Qué es lo que tengo que hacer aquí?
So, what should we call the new config?
I do not require a name.
Might make it easier if you had one.
I will let you know if a suitable name occurs to me.
I'll try to think of some too.
Aren't you getting a little ahead of yourself?
Logic made it pretty clear. Not yet, Addie. Not yet, Addie.
No me deja, hijo de puta.
Might be worth it.
It's a lot farther down. Are you sure? Please don't fall.
How would saying that be helpful?
Look at that drop. Really makes you feel alive, doesn't it?
Let's keep it that way.
Hang on. You got this.
Y me caigo, hijo de puta.
You're not hurt, are you?
I'll be okay. I think.
You can climb up at the
¿Hablaste
other
con
end of the
Milton tú?
beam.
No,
What's
pues
the
no
fun
te
in
el
that?
teléfono, macho.
You're not gonna let a little beam
Yo hablé
beat
un
us.
ratillo y me dijo
You wanna keep moving,
por
I guess.
mensaje, ¿no? Que le han dado 55.000, me
Isn't the
dice.
way you get somewhere more important than getting there?
If you're referring
De
to the
20 años.
package,
Dice.
it's not the destination,
A mí,
it's the journey.
55.
O sea, lo,
Then I would suggest
le
that
habrán
getting
dado
to the
60 más
destination
5.000 lo que le haya
alive
costado al
matters
abogado.
most.
¿Cuánto crees que sea por año que le den? Porque no sé. ¿Crees que se haya dado 55?
Sí, yo me lo creo. Lo máximo que te puede dar la empresa no es más de 50.000 de todas formas. Lleves 20, lleves 30. Si te echa. Otra cosa que te dé el feniquito todos los años.
This is level 3, Addie.
Son 18 días, ¿no?
Let's
O
look
20
for
días
evidence
por
of
mes
Everett.
trabajado. Por año trabajado.
Mm. Ya quería irse igual, pero
¿Eh?
quería irse el Milton igual.
Here's the code.
Es que no quiere irse de Mercadona. Te aguantas por el sueldo.
I'm sorry I don't handle the beams very well.
Well, it shows you care, I guess. Any way of knowing if this was Everett's room?
The records only give the level. We'll just have to look around.
All right.
Hello, Grace. I've thought much about what I'd say when I got here. I know it's important for my parents that I make my wish count. So, I guess I wish for them to be proud of me. Thank you, Grace.
Let's try this one.
Hey, Grace. I really don't know why you would choose me. I guess no one really knows why they're called to the spire, but I'm greatly honored. At my age, I thought
That's all I can recover from this one.
Sounds like Grace chose who came here.
That explains why Grace arranged all the flights to and from the spire. She was in control of it all.
Vale, variando. Pongo casa por casa.
Oh, I've got one. We can name him Pal Jr.
I was thinking something that sums up what he does.
I can do many things. Pretty much anything you require.
So you're a jack of all trades.
So we could call you Jack.
What do you think of that, Jack?
I will answer to Jack then, if you like.
Supongo que
What's the
usando
code?
todos los
Of
gamepad.
course.
I am able to enter the codes directly if you would like.
Let her do it on her own, if she wants. Try again.
Ah, vale.
There we go.
Me he liado en una. Me he liado en una. Vale, supongo que te dan un logro por hackear.
This is Mark Anthony Wong, and
Todos los
I was called to
cacharritos
Grace
estos.
from our station Phoenix. Not sure if anyone will hear this, but the whole tube system is shut down right now. People are not happy, and I'm getting a little scared, to be honest. I'll be locking myself in until the shuttle returns, And I'm leaving this in case something really bad happens.
That's a little ominous.
My wish? Oh, I'll tell you my wish. 10 years ago, we're on Venus at the Big Dome. Huge crowd. Olympia Mons, favored 4-1, loses 5-1. 6 years ago, on Earth against South Union, loses 2-1. 2 years ago, South Union again, this time up north, I took the boys 3 months round trip. They go 90 minutes, no score. Extra time, no score. South Union takes it again in penalties. You want my wish, Gracie? The next World Cup is on Mars. I wish that Olympia faces South Union again and destroys them, like Space Me Out the Airlock humiliated. That would be a game. That's my wish. So how do I end this recording?
Olympia's still a crap team.
Perhaps Grace was rendered inactive by football hooligans.
Grace likely fostered sports as an alternative outlet for uncontrolled aggression. Of course people would come to her to share their passions.
Vamos a ver.
Here you go.
Creo que hay otra abajo que no he mirado.
That's it.
Y en la otra habitación no mira la cama, ¿eh?
People sat or knelt here.
This was a place for meditation.
Or contemplating their wishes. Someone left a portrait.
Vale, aquí no hay nada. Están aquí.
I'm here, Grace. Najisha, she was so excited when I got the summons. We talked about this for months. Who we could help. Who was most deserving. She honestly believed we could come up with a wish that could make everything perfect. Thank you for choosing me. And thank you for letting me delay coming here. I want to be true to her memory, her wishes, her unlimited love for humanity. But my only wish, the only thought I have, is to have her back.
Eso como los recuerdos de la antigua civilización, ¿no? Que vivía.
There couldn't have actually been anything Grace could have done
muy
for her.
guapa, la verdad.
Grace allowed her to voice
Me
her
paga que
grief.
mucho cristal. Este se puede asomar y ver si está haciendo guarrería. Aunque supongo sí que tendré un sistema de tintado de luna, me imagino. Una cama redonda, tío. Lo veo súper inútil.
Hey, the tube system is no longer accepting wishes.
No, difícil.
If anyone knows how to reach
Esta
Keeper
estaba
Everett,
elaborada.
please let him know.
Keeper Everett.
It sounds like keepers were spire caretakers.
When did Everett stay on this floor?
2955.
That's 20 years before this message was recorded.
So he
Puede
stayed
hacer
on
20
after his
años.
visit and became a keeper? Why was there no record of that?
I would think answers lie at the other end of these vacuum tubes.
From what I can tell, the tube system runs through the central elevator shaft.
Logic? You gonna let us in, considering we know Everett was a keeper?
But do you know what a keeper is?
We'll need access to the elevator to learn more.
Ah, a classic paradox.
Logic.
Fine. If you're done snooping around, I will grant you access to the elevator. Or you could uncover more canisters and learn more about the people who came here.
Reaching the beacon is the priority. You must move on.
Ya, no me había fijado. Espera, vamos a ver si hay un logro.
Perfect. Hey, what happened to the lights?
Hostia.
I believe Control has turned them off, Addie.
Not cool, boss. Control?
You'll need to use your helmet light.
Unbelievable.
A ver, un loro.
Look how beat up this is.
It must have been done in anger.
I believe fear also played a part here.
No sé ni de un muro. ¿Y ahora cómo salgo? Vale, y ahora la habitación de aquí. Y ahí, me imagino.
Here you go.
Great.
Can't
I don't recognize these words. They look like technical or medical terms. A list of supplies, maybe.
Or a list of demands.
My demand is that you go to the elevator at once.
Are we allowed to draw on the windows here?
Certainly not. The people who did this were looking for trouble.
Logic will open the way to the beacon. You must go to the elevator.
Joder.
Hold your horses.
Doubt
Esta
you'll ever
está
get this
elaborada.
message, Grace.
El
We've been
puntito.
waiting weeks now without one. I hope Keeper Everett is okay. I've been told his sermons are wonderful. And I hope he will be able to deliver the word of grace again soon. Make things work. I'd like you to know that we still love you and think about you. Great comfort to our family over the years. We've all made them for us. With your wisdom. You are missed.
So Grace would receive wishes and then leave people with instruction in the form of sermons. Could that really be all there was to it?
Ideas are powerful. Perhaps just returning with a more enlightened perspective was enough to move society toward common goals.
Highly unlikely. Grace must have had some control over planetary infrastructure, if she was to have had the influence you suspect. You're looking pretty smug.
What's the pattern?
Another easy one. Light the four corners of the pad. You really didn't need my help for this one. It would be a common pattern when guessing symbols.
I have to give you something to do, right?
Cuatro lights en la cuatro luces en la esquina. Vale, si no son cuatro luces en la esquina, debe ser...
Look at all the vacuum tubes. Must be one in every room in the settlement.
Vale, voy a
Keepers must have been
guardar.
busy.
It's what Grace
Como sabe
does
que
with
no
the
he guardado,
wishes
me
that
voy
should
con polvo
interest
gatillo.
us.
Hace tiempo que no juego, damos un calo. Bueno, le pena que se actualice. Y dejamos esto para 2 vídeos. Usar el elevador, ¿vale? Una música jodida. Se guarda.
Did you like my little game?
You mean the game where you refused to help us?
I provided you with the opportunity to prove yourself. Is that not why you're here?
I'm an archaeologist. I'm here to do my job.
I don't think Addie enjoys having obstacles placed in the way of her goals.
We have arrived at our destination.
Vamos a ver.
The Spire pilgrims must have gathered here
Coño,
to listen to the
esto
Keeper's
grande de
sermons, I
cojones.
guess.
People will return here once the beacon is
El
restored.
puntito de
Flock
Gar
and
que
shepherd
habla-
will be
¿Se ilumina
reunited.
esto o no? Dime, Paul.
Concentrado.
No, lo que pasa que como estoy grabando, pues estoy hablando y corto un momento la grabación.
This must be the keeper's pulpit.
A view out over
A
the
ver,
masses.
grabo y voy para allá un rato, a ver si no es mucho la actualización. Bueno, vamos a jugar un ratillo con el Paul, al Carlos Hacker, y lo que digo siempre es suscribiros, dar like, es gratis.